Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're doing great and continue to stay healthy and happy in the future. Now, without wasting any more time, let's begin. The story starts at a high school. A group of students are making fun of a boy. You're seriously addicted to games. Do you even come to school to study, or just to play games all day? The boy they're talking about is Dowan, an 18-year-old gamer. He's playing multiple games at the same time and completely ignoring everything around him. Dowan thinks to himself, I'm a loser in real life, but in the gaming world I'm unbeatable. In games, I'm a champion. Unfortunately, his real life is nothing like his gaming life. He's constantly bullied by stronger students. A beautiful girl named Erin Jo, the school's most popular student, approaches him. She says, "You're really good at games. I made a bet with my friends, but I'm terrible at gaming. Could you teach me?" For Dowan, this feels like a dream come true. He's thrilled that the most popular girl in school is talking to him. But before they can continue, Erin's friend arrives and calls her away. Dowan becomes so distracted by the conversation that he loses focus on his game. As a result, his character dies and he loses a valuable legendary weapon. The bully appears. The weapon belonged to a violent bully named Chio-woo. The moment he finds out, he smashes Dowan's head into a desk. Dowan desperately begs for mercy. "I'll get you another sword. Please don't hit me." But Chio-woo doesn't care. He punches and slaps Dowan repeatedly until blood starts pouring from his face. Lying on the ground, Dowan thinks. Real life is just like a game. The strong dominate the weak. Chio-woo gives him 1 week to obtain an extremely rare item called the Fire King's Great Sword. If he fails, Chio-woo promises to publicly humiliate and beat him in front of Erin. Back at home, Dowan prepares to play games. Although he constantly complains about gaming, he's completely addicted to it. He ignores school, responsibilities, and everything else. Soon, a major game update resets everyone's level. Dowan's level 100 character is reduced back to level 0, and the new level cap becomes 200. Determined to recover his progress and obtain the rare sword, he starts grinding. 24 hours pass. Then 37 hours. Then 64 hours. He spends all of his savings trying to obtain rare items. Still, he gets nothing. Eventually, Dowan has been playing for nearly a week with almost no sleep. He survives on caffeine and pure desperation. While fighting a monster, Dowan is suddenly saved by a mysterious level 200 player. The player defeats the monster with a single attack. Although he isn't interested in Dowan, he allows him to join his team as a bag carrier. Even then, Dowan is grateful. With this player's help, he finally obtains the Fire King's Great Sword. He even gets another legendary weapon called the Fire God's Great Sword. For the first time in days, it feels like his luck has changed. Tragedy strikes. Exhausted and sleep-deprived, Dowan finally stands up from his computer. He's ready to rest. But suddenly, he collapses. News headlines appear. 18-year-old boy dies of heart attack. After 7 straight days of gaming, excessive caffeine, and almost no sleep, Dowan suffers a fatal heart attack. As he dies, he thinks, "Mom, I'm sorry for dying before you." He blames Chio-woo for everything that happened. Filled with regret and anger, he wishes he could curse him forever. Then something strange happens. Suddenly, Dowan wakes up. He's back at school. Back to the exact day when everything began. Erin is standing nearby. The same events start repeating. His character dies in the game. The legendary weapon is lost. Chio-woo attacks him again. But this time, something is different. Quest windows keep appearing before Dowan's eyes. They show experience points, levels, and missions. It's as if his real life has become a game. As Chio-woo beats him, Dowan's anger reaches its limit. When Chio-woo grabs Erin and starts threatening her, Dowan can no longer stay silent. For the first time in his life he throws a punch. Chio-woo easily blocks it. But then, a notification appears. Level up. Dowan's class changes. Honorable Game Shuttle. Then, Superior Game Shuttle. A special gaming skill activates. Dowan's body moves on its own. Before anyone realizes what's happening, he unleashes a flurry of punches and completely overwhelms Chio-woo. The bully who terrorized him is defeated. More notifications appear. You defeated monster Chio-woo. Reward 200 experience points. Congratulations. New class unlocked. Dowan receives another upgrade. Hello guys, today I will explain the chapter 2 of Reality Quest. Now without wasting any more time let's begin. Arian asks Dohan if he has a head injury. You wait a second, I'll call the school nurse. But Dohan doesn't pay attention to any of these things. Because there are different things going on in his mind. He thinks, what's happening to me? First, suddenly I died. After that, I came back in time. And suddenly a system window popped up in front of me, which is giving me the same skills that I used to use in games. When I was a kid, I was a game-addicted kid. I always used to read game fantasy novels, where a main hero suddenly gets a lot of skills, which he could use like games, and with the help of that, he breaks all the bullies. So does it really mean that I have also become strong now? Means now I am a beast, like no one could stop me. Dowan is thinking all this in his mind, but suddenly another system window pops up in front of him, on which it is written that substitute gamer specific effects have been applied. Dowan's all stats are locked. Now he will not be able to use any skill, and neither will he be able to use anything else. And a while ago, Dowan's level 100 show that also suddenly falls and comes to level 1. Dowan was shocked by all these things. He was saying in his mind, "You crazy bastard. After all, what is going on with me? If you wanted to make me so weak from the start, then why did you make me powerful? What kind of joke is going on with me?" But then another window pops up in front of him, on which it is written that he has now defeated the monster Chiobu, as a reward for which he is given a golden key. And in a few seconds, a golden key also comes in front of Dowan, of which Dowan does not know anything, what to do with it. After which we see the scene after a while, where Dowan is going to the corridor after getting his wound treated, where some boys are talking about it. How did he beat Chiobu? But none of them believe that a weak boy like Dowan can also beat a bully. And all those people think that all these were just rumors. But all these things could not have any impact on Dowan, because Dowan is constantly thinking in his mind that how did he open the door of his fate with the key. He is constantly looking at the key, and he is thinking in his mind, it doesn't matter how many times I look at it, I have no idea where and how to use it. And while thinking all this, Dowan keeps that key in his pocket, and he starts walking straight towards the washroom. But before he could go inside the washroom, then another window pops up in front of him, on which it is written that he is going to get a dangerous invitation this evening, and he will have to accept it, because this is today's quest. But before Dowan could finish all this, another guy comes in front of him, and he bumps into Dowan, because of which Dowan and that guy both fall to the ground. That guy stands up and apologizes to Dowan, and says that did you get hurt somewhere? But Dowan was shocked to see that guy's face, because that guy seemed to be beaten a lot. His nose was constantly bleeding. Dowan goes to get some tissue paper to help him, but that guy refuses him and runs away from there. Dowan had no idea what just happened to him, but whatever it is, now Dowan starts going inside the washroom. And as soon as he opens the door of the washroom, there is another guy standing there, whose name is Jamin. He is also an 18-year-old schoolboy, who says as soon as Dowan comes, "Dowan, I was waiting for you here." And people need Dowan only when they have to play their game. And because of this, Dowan says that have you also started gaming? But Jamin says no brother, I have no interest in games. In fact, what I am interested in is you Dowan, because even if no one cares, even if no one believes that you have defeated Shalvu, but I was standing there, where I saw everything, that how you broke the face of that rascal Shalvu. I really didn't know Dowan, that you are so strong. But brother Dowan was getting a different feeling. He was scared. He thought that he has come to take revenge of Shalvu, because he thought that this guy is Shalvu's friend. But nothing like that happens. Jamin approaches Dowan in the very next scene, that tonight he should go to the drinking party with him, where other high school girls will also come. But all this was coming out of Dowan's head, because till date boys only beat him, threatened him and made him play games, not that someone invited him to come with them. That's why Dowan asks Jamin to confirm once, "Are you talking to me?" Jamin says of course. And who else will I talk to? Here there is no one other than the two of us. Dowan was already very confused in his mind, because he was getting an offer from that guy in front of him, who was constantly a friend of his bully. And then he remembers that System Bindo also said something like this today, that he is going to get a dangerous invitation tonight, and he will have to accept it, because it was the same quest. But the dangerous word in that dangerous invitation, because of that Dohan's head was blown. He just wanted to refuse Jamin, and he wanted to run away to Battle's house, so that he can escape from all these things, and he didn't have to get involved in the police. And this is what happens. Dowan says while refusing Jamin, that today I have to go to my grandpa's grave, because today is his memorial. Although he has rejected the quest, but he is not going to leave the quest window like this. Jamin has left from there, but now he was going to get a penalty. And then Dowan opens his pants to pee, but then another window pops up in front of him, on which it is written, "Quest rejected, penalty will be given." And before this Dowan could think anything else. In his private part, suddenly a lot of pain begins. He feels exactly like this. That a lot of African buffaloes, one by one, are hitting Dohan's private part. And seeing all this, Dohan's condition is getting worse. And then we see two boys, who come talking in the washroom. But then they hear, what is happening here? They see Dohan, who is lying on the ground and screaming. Because of the penalty, this poor guy's condition is getting worse. Because on his private part, a lot of buffaloes were being attacked. And Dohan's condition was getting worse. Dohan was lying on the ground and peeing. And the most amazing thing was, that this penalty was going to last for 60 minutes. Dohan was not able to handle this thing for 60 seconds. 60 minutes is a very long time. And now Dohan had no other option. He accepts the quest. After which we see the evening scene, where Dohan has come to meet Jamin. Although this whole time, Dohan is scared, but he somehow says hi to Jamin. But after the penalty, Dohan's condition is getting worse. He sees Jamin very scared in front of him. And to lighten Dohan's mood, he calls his grandpa. Yes, the same grandpa, to whom he had to go to the grave today. Means this guy called a dead person. In the next scene, those girls also reach there, which Jamin has invited here. And in the next scene, we see that Dohan and those girls have come to the same club, in which they had to party tonight. Seeing those beautiful girls, Dohan's mind is full of sweets. And he is saying in his mind, I didn't come here because I liked these girls, but I came here because if I had rejected them, it would have been very rude. But Dohan is not able to understand one thing. There is so much food and alcohol on the table. Who will pay the bill? Because they are all high schoolers. But then Jamin tells Dohan, his friend's brother works here, so he shouldn't worry about money, and enjoy a lot. Jamin asks Dohan, how much alcohol can he drink? Dohan must have never drunk anything before. And Dohan says the same thing. I have never drunk alcohol before, so I don't have any experience. Although he is constantly thinking in his mind that this Jamin boy is not as bad as I thought, because he is paying my bill. But then Jamin starts showing his real face. He says that my wallet will come here, so don't worry about the bill. Order whatever you want. Today's treat is from my wallet. Although Dohan was confused in his mind, who is the one who is saying his wallet again and again? Dohan looks back, and he looks at Zihan, and he is the same guy. He makes fun of Zihan, and tells Mom that I shouldn't have worn white pant today. It feels like you have sorted yourself out. Zihan doesn't say anything here. What can he say? And when he says something he gets scolded. He shows his record and accepts it himself. Dohan is watching all this, and he remembers how people treated him same way in his past life. And it annoys him. And the beautiful girl sitting in front of him, she doesn't look simple at all. She says, what is this loser going through? But to lighten this mood, Jamin decides to sing a song, and he was not just the singer, he was also the one who made him dance. And when a girl sitting in front of him forbids him to do this, then he says, no, Zihan likes to dance a lot. Why did I say the right thing, Zihan? And poor Zihan could have done it here, because if he had refused, Jamin would have beaten him to death. And of course, Dohan doesn't like all this at all, so he decides to leave. He says to Jamin that I am going to the bathroom, but he is thinking in his mind that how can I run away from here on the pretext of the bathroom, because Dohan understood this well, that Jamin is so interested in it because he thinks that Dohan is very strong, but as soon as he finds out the reality, he will also beat Dohan and make him a dog. And he decides in his mind that I will open the back door of the bathroom and somehow get out of this hotel. But Dohan doesn't do anything like that because he constantly remembers Zihan, and at least he was looking at himself instead of Zihan. And since Dohan himself has survived all this, so he has a lot of sympathy with Zihan. He goes back to the same room of the same karaoke where people like Jamin are sitting. He opens the gate and looks in front that Zihan's pant has come off. Dohan says to Jamin that where is this person's pant? Jamin says that this person's pant was dirty, so I have put it to wash, and you don't be too hyper because I have done all this to him. But Dohan knew that he would not have asked anything, but he would have done what he wanted. Dohan tries to ask Jamin for Jihan's pant and says that quietly give me that thing. But before that Dohan was able to finish the whole sentence, the gate opens from behind and he looks at Logan Lee. Logan Lee means in the sense that this person looks a lot like Logan Lee. There are blood stains all over his body, and his tattoos are also giving the vibe of Logan, looking at such a tough guy in front of him. Dohan's condition is completely bad. He thinks in his mind that it does not seem that this guy has been working in a gang for the past 10 years. After all, from which angle is this high schooler looking, and why are there blood stains on this guy? After all, what kind of work was he doing before coming here? But in the meantime, Jamin asks Dohan that what were you asking from me? Dohan is in a hurry. He was not able to say anything because Dohan knew very well that if he said anything wrong, he would be standing behind him and killing him. Dowan suddenly says in a hurry that I want a mic, I want to sing my song a lot, and as soon as Jamin gives the mic to Dowan, the quest window pops up again in front of him, on which it is written that the chain quest will start now, and this time the quest of Dowan is written in it, and it is coming that he has to break the head of Jamin with this mic, that too within 30 minutes, and if Dowan could not do this, then he will get the same penalty that he got last time. Hello guys, today I will talk about chapter 3 of Reality Quest. Now without wasting more time, let's begin. In this video, we see Jamin who is saying to a bull named Manchun, "Oh Manchun, you really look like a killer." Then Manchun replies to this and says that yes, it is true that I look like a killer. Because when I was coming here, I was dealing with some people and their blood got on my clothes. Anyway, what happened to him? Why are you moving like a washing machine? Our store has now given you a new pant, don't you have anything to do with it? And all this he is telling Zihan. And here we can see that poor Zihan's people have made a chair and this bull is sitting on it. And on top of that, this bull is saying that if you make me fall, I will kill you. And after seeing all this, Jamin is having a lot of fun. He says with a smile that I have never seen anything more funny than this. I feel like I have come to a circus. But none of these things make any difference to our boy Dowan, because he got such a quest in which he had to break Jamin's head. And on top of that, he was already scared to see this Logan Lee. He was just praying in his mind that he would somehow get out of this place. And then this pig comes to him and says that we will talk about everything else later. But first tell me this, did our boy really lose with this cover? Dude, it just looks like a skull to me, nothing more than that. Then Jamin replies to him and says that no, brother Dowan is really strong. No one in our gang will have as much strength as this guy has. On the other side, our boy Dowan is constantly in this dilemma that if he breaks Jamin's head, then these people will kill him. And if he doesn't do this, he won't leave the penalty buffalo. He is just constantly thinking that the way he broke Kyle Wu's face, if he can use the same skill again, then he can easily deal with this situation. But the biggest problem was that he couldn't use this skill because it was locked. Where Dowan is thinking all this in his mind, then Jamin asks him, "Hey Dowan, I have to ask you something. If you were really so strong from the beginning, then why did you get so much bullied by that ass named Kyle Wu? Because if you wanted, you could have used your strength to knock him out before. After all, why were you so worried about him?" Now, of course, Dowan could not tell that he has defeated Kyle Wu by using a gaming skill. So he tries to make some excuses, but in the meantime, Jamin says again, yes, maybe you have your own reasons. And I will not force you to tell me all that, but come on, leave all this. I have a great offer for you. Whatever happened to you, leave all those things behind and come and join our gang. Because we really need your strength. And if you really join us, then we will really take over the entire Guana district. That too very easily. Where this offer was very good, Dowan does not say anything about it. Because here our boy will think and answer. He just thinks in his mind that what is this ass saying? In reality, the Guana district is not a joke. That whoever comes and takes it, this guy will die himself and make me die too. Dowan is thinking all this. Jamin says again, Dowan, don't worry. We are not going to make you do all this for free. We will give you cigarettes, alcohol, money, girls, whatever you say. You will get all that luxury, which you can't even think of. You just have to join us. You just have to say yes once. Dowan was not a greedy boy. He is not going to fall for all these things. He clearly says that he does not want any of these things, because his interest is only in games. And he says more than this. He thinks in his mind that I should not hang out with bullies like these, which bothers others. But Jamin says again, Dowan, you should think again. Because do you want to live your old life again? Becoming a game shutter, where people used to come and bully you, used to make you a substitute gamer. Think Dowan, think. If you join us, then you can take revenge on all those bullies who had harassed you in the past. And not only that, you will also become a bully yourself. And you can make others do whatever you want. And after saying all this, Jamin leaves from there. And these things have left a deep impact in Dowan's mind. Because Dowan may not fall in the name of things, but he was also tired of his loser life. And he also wanted to move on from all these things. Anyway, Dowan thinks about this offer. Until then, Jamin interprets it and says, Dowan, I have something for you. Actually, when you bumped into me in the morning, then I accidentally got your key. I didn't pay attention to it and took it for myself. And this is the same key that Dowan got as a reward. Instead of defeating Kihomu, Dowan says thank you, but Jamin doesn't listen to his thank you. He says directly, Dowan, listen to me. I don't think you should hang out with people like Jamin. And when Dowan asks him why he did this, then he says, I don't think you are a bad person. Unlike Jamin and the bull that is roaming there. And after hearing this, Dowan also realizes what he was going to become a few seconds ago. What was he going to do? But before he could think of anything else, a system window pops up in front of him. It was clear that if Dowan did not break Jamin's head in 3 minutes, then he would have to pay a penalty. And Dowan, who was already torn, after reading all this, he gets even more torn. He starts shaking in his place. I mean, he starts shivering. But Dowan also had a little self-respect. He didn't want to come in this condition in front of the girls. That's why he makes an excuse to make a phone call and gets out of the room. As soon as we see Dowan in the next scene, Dowan is in a staff room, which also has a storeroom written on it. And there Dowan was fully prepared to take his punishment. Where he couldn't make a sound from his mouth, that's why he had a cloth in his mouth. He had his hands together and spread his legs. The system window was constantly popping up in front of him, on which it is written 30 seconds, 29 seconds, 28 seconds. The time was getting less and less, and Dowan was getting torn. And the scene shifts from here. We see the same party scene where they were partying, and then we see this fat guy, whose name I have forgotten myself. He suddenly feels like singing. He asks for a mic to sing, but there is no mic here. Now the scene shifts to Jamin, who has just come out of the bathroom. And he says, "Man, my stomach is very bad. I don't know what I ate." But this guy doesn't have a stomach. There was going to be a lot of damage to it. Because in the next scene, we see Dowan, who is standing just behind it with the mic. And he strikes so hard with this mic on Jamin's head that Jamin literally spits out of his mouth and falls a little far. And then he becomes unconscious. And really, man, I will also fully agree with Dowan here. Because what Dowan did, he really needs a lot of courage to do it. Dowan could have gone from here if he wanted, because his quest was finally completed. But he thinks what will happen to Zihan if he goes from here. Because that tattooed pig is still in the same room where Zihan was. And Dowan knew that if Jamin didn't go back soon, then that pig would definitely do something wrong with Zihan. And that's when this pig got a message on his phone, which was sent by Jamin. And there was abuse written in it. Not one or two, but a lot of it. Which makes this guy crazy. And all these abuses are written by our Dowan, who is sitting on Jamin with Jamin's phone. And he was constantly provoking this pig against Jamin. And Dowan is happy thinking about all this. But as soon as he turns around, that pig is standing right behind him. And literally seeing this guy. And that's when a system window pops up in front of Dowan, on which it is written, "Emergency quest, you have to get ready for the fight quickly. Because you have to defeat this monster called Menchiakiak. Your fight with him is going to start very soon. But before this, Dowan could have done something to us." Bro, this guy kicks him. Dowan rolls over and hits a wall. This pig picks him up and says, "Bro, you should have known one thing. That whenever Jamin drinks, he never messages anyone. He directly calls the phone. Anyway, what will you do knowing this? Because you are going to die here today." And while saying this, he punches Dowan very hard, as if Dowan's nose breaks, and blood starts coming out of his mouth. Dowan is going behind this punch. That's when this guy grabs his head, and starts slapping Dowan's face. Bro, literally, he has made a paratha of Dowan's face. He beats Dowan and says, "Bro, you are not strong for an hour. Why was Jamin so crazy after you? And what happened to this Jamin? Why is he lying there and sleeping?" But as soon as this guy notices the dent on the mic, he understands that Dowan has knocked Jamin out with the help of a mic. And seeing this guy says, "Bro, you are really a coward who attacked from behind and broke Jamin's head." And after hearing all this guy is not going to be calm. He throws Dowan on the stairs, as if Dowan falls down. And that's when the golden key falls out of Dowan's pocket, which Dowan got as a reward after defeating Kaiolwu. Dowan picks up the key and thinks in his mind, where did he put this key? How is it used? And that's when the system window pops up in front of Dowan, on which it is written, "Shouldn't a key fit in a keyhole?" That's when a keyhole appears in front of Dowan, which had a lot of skills on it, but there is a question mark everywhere. And at the top is the same skill by which he broke Kaiolwu's face. Dowan puts that key in his keyhole, and unlocks it, and suddenly we see a lot of lights. After which the scene shifts, and we see Menchok, who is trying to pick up Jamin, but suddenly he notices that Dowan is standing behind him. And here Dowan was doing full aura farming, because there was smoke coming out of his back. I mean, there was no smoke coming out of his back. Actually, the atmosphere there was very cloudy and shiny. And in front of Dowan, again a system window pops up, on which it is written, if Dowan avoids a fight with Menchok, then he will have to give a penalty again. And in this situation, Dowan and Menchok had come face to face, where Mention is fully excited to make Dowan a dog. And in the next movement, these two people charge in towards each other, where Menchok prepares his punch with a smile. On the other hand, Dowan, who is constantly coming down the stairs. Lightning is also coming out of his shoes, and the aura here has gone completely 1000 plus. Hello guys, today I will talk about Reality Quest Chapter 4. So now without wasting any more time, let's begin with a little backstory of Dowan, where we get to know that Dowan was a game shuttler in his childhood, where he was very popular because of his unique play style and gaming skills from his childhood. But because of this ability, the other bullies used to harass Dowan a lot and make him play games for themselves. And now this is being shown in the scene where a lot of guys are talking that a guy has made a streak of 38 in games, that is, he has won 38 matches in a row and no one is able to defeat him. And we see that he is no one else but our Dowan only, who has a dog collar around his neck. Like a boy is holding it and standing on the side, and he is telling Dowan that well done my dog, now you just have to win 2 more matches, after that our streak will become 40. And we get to know through Dowan that the most dangerous skill he had in his childhood, which he used to use in the game, was called Falcon Strike. And that skill was so powerful that if he used it only once, the opponent in front of him would get crowded, where our character had to jump up a lot in the air to use it. Anyway, all this was about the game, but now Dowan could also use this skill in real life, because now the system had provided him with this skill in real life, where now it is called Falcon Drop and the cost for it is 120 points, which Dowan had already collected. A powerful kick that could knock down the enemy in just one time. And the amazing thing is that now Dowan could also use it in real life. And while charging towards Dowan Mansion, he keeps thinking in his mind that it doesn't matter how much powerful punch he is going to throw at me or how much difference there is in his weight and my weight. But if I have this skill, then I can easily win this fight. And before these two guys meet, another system window pops up in front of Dowan, which says insufficient mana. And before Dowan could think of anything else, Mansion's amazing punch comes on his face, as if Dowan is flying far away. And Mansion, making fun of him, says that you are like a mosquito, which is constantly buzzing around me, but you can't do anything. On the other hand, Dowan, who was lying on the ground, was cursing this system, that if the system had to lock this skill due to mana insufficiency, then why did it give him that skill? Where we are shown again that to use Falcon Drop Kick, Dowan would need at least 120 mana points. But the mana points Dowan has now are 100. It means that this difference was very small. So now he remembers one more thing, that he had completed another quest just a while ago, where he broke Jamin's head with a mic. And in return, he must have got a reward. And Dowan knew this thing very well, that the reward is found in the same place where the quest is completed. And if there is a report there, and if he has got a reward, then the reward will be there where he knocked down Jamin, i.e. front of restroom. But before Dowan could go ahead, Mansion grabs his collar and pulls him back and says that where were you running? You started this fight first. He was constantly buzzing around Dowan, and then he picked up Dowan and threw him on the ground. And Dowan also knew that his body has now reached the limits, so he tries to run away from there, so that at least he can avoid this fight for a while. But Mansion catches him again, and he grabs his head and throws Dowan on an elevator lift. Dowan's nose, mouth, ears were bleeding from everywhere, and Dowan falls to the ground after this. After which Mansion puts his foot on his head and says that when you can't fight, why are you standing again and again? But then Dowan, who is stuck like a cockroach on the ground, starts laughing. And Mansion was also not able to understand why Dowan was laughing, because his dog is lying here. And then Dowan says that do you think I messed with you and I did all this without any plan? I already had a solid plan. And then Mansion notices something, that the elevator behind him, the numbers were constantly changing on it. It was clear that someone was coming up by holding the elevator, or a man, after which the elevator suddenly opens behind and Dowan shouts that everyone attack this buffalo, don't leave it, attack it together, we can defeat it together. And seeing all this, Mansion's hand is literally torn here, he sweats, he quickly turns back and sees that there is no one in the elevator. Dowan made him crazy. Actually, when Mansion hit Dowan on the wall, Dowan pressed the elevator button there. And with this, Mansion got distracted for a moment, and that was enough time for Dowan to run away from there. Dowan quickly gets out of there and tries to go to a safe place, but then he accidentally rolls over and falls. He is constantly thinking in his mind that I will have to stand up and I will have to go to a safe place where I can get a reward. And if he doesn't get a reward, then of course he won't be able to defeat this buffalo. And in the next scene, we see the same fat man who is breaking the gate from behind, giving a terrible smile. I mean, he is not giving a smile, but looking at his face, anyone can be 12 o'clock. He is telling Dowan, you son of a bitch, you stay there, I won't leave you alive today. Dowan had no option. Neither could he run from here now, nor could he stop here. But then again the system window pops up in front of Dowan. And Dowan gets his reward, which he got in return for breaking Jamin's head. And this time he gets a bronze key. Dowan also says thank you to the system in his mind, and also curses that this system couldn't have given me this 2 minutes earlier. Wait, character stats, come in front of me quickly. And Dowan says so much that character stats open up in front of him, where there is also a keyhole, and Dowan uses his key there. On the other side, Buffalo is constantly coming close to Dowan, seeing which Dohan's is already broken. And Dohan is thinking in his mind that I will have to increase my mana to use that skill, not much, just a little. Here Dohan shouts and says, mana points, I want mana points. And with this, these two guys are again in front of each other, but this time things were going to be very different because Dohan could have used his skills. And after this, Mention throws a punch at Dohan, but Dohan dodges his punch and jumps in the air with the support of his thighs and hits such a sexy kick on the head of this buffalo. Class exclusive kick, the Falcon Strike, Falcon Drop, and this drop falls directly on Mention's head. And with this, Mention's world has changed. His nose starts bleeding from his mouth and Mention falls to the ground with it and gets knocked out. In front of Dohan, another system window pops up again, on which it is written that you defeated the monster Mention you. And after doing all this, Dohan comes to his knees because he had already been beaten a lot from morning till now, and on top of that he had also used 2 skills continuously. And all these things had exhausted his body completely, where Dohan was thinking in his mind, wow, I am very cool. But 1 second, in order to use these skills, my bones are hurting a lot. I think my leg is gone from work. And with this, another reward opens in front of Dohan, where this time he gets a silver key in the form of a reward. Dohan gets up while falling and picks up the silver key, and he thinks in his mind that finally I can go home now. But before this mess is over, Dohan looks back and behind him is Jamin, who is saying that you dog, you broke my head. And Jamin was fine. Dohan could have handled him for a few seconds, but then Dohan turns around and sees that there is a sour man standing behind Dohan. We are told about him that Dohan has just extinguished the light of the candle. He is his elder brother. And then Dohan remembers that Jamin had told him before that the elder brother of Mention works here. And seeing this, Dohan was scared, but it was not enough. Then the gates of all these rooms open, and Dohan sees that not 1, not 2, not 3, but many boys start coming out of their rooms. And everyone is talking about what is going on here. And then a boy says, hey, is that Mention lying on the ground who knocked him out? And then Dohan remembers again about Jamin, where Jamin says that all the high school boys of our neighborhood also come here to drink, which means Dohan was completely fucked. His HP was 12, mana points were 100, and now Dohan could neither use any skill nor could he run away from here, which means that Dohan's brother is going to get hit well, where he is surrounded by boys and a monster from all sides. Hello guys, today I will explaining 3 chapters of Reality Quest in this video. In the previous video I'll promise that I will cover around 3 to 4 chapter in each video, so here is the video. Now without wasting any more time, let's begin. But before this, do not forget to subscribe and like for more new chapter of Reality Quest. Dowan could do anything else. That girl says, you must have more clothes, right? By the way, you should turn off the heater in your house. It's getting too hot here. And with this, Dowan finds out that he misunderstood the system window quest. Dowan asks that girl, how did you find out that I live here? Because we never talked. That girl says, yes, I didn't even know your phone number. But that day when I was taking you in the karaoke, I saw the address of your house, which was stuck behind your phone cover. Anyway, forget all that. First tell me, do you really have only these clothes? It looks like this is a collection of some loser. Dowan replies, by the way, my mom bought those clothes for me, so at least don't say that. Anyway, this girl's intention was something else. She says to Dowan, let's go shopping. Anyway, you can't hang out with me in these clothes. And poor Dowan is just thinking in his mind, where am I stuck? Because he was going shopping with a girl for the first time in his life, except her mother. And in the very next scene, we see these two, who are in a shopping mall. And here Dowan is trying on some clothes. And here he looks absolutely like a loser. And he himself is saying the same thing. How do people wear such strange clothes? Anyway, according to this girl, these clothes don't look good on Dowan at all. So let's try this new outfit. And while wearing these clothes, Dowan is just thinking that I have never tried such clothes before. So I feel very strange. Anyway, when Dowan asks this girl about this outfit, then she says, they don't look that bad. And Dowan is happy to hear this. But then again a system window pops up in front of him. Ask her out to lunch. So what? Of course, Dowan will have to complete the quest. So these two go to a restaurant for lunch, where Dowan is eating his food. But this girl was not eating anything there. And the most amazing thing was that they were staring at each other for half an hour. That means neither Dowan said anything to her, nor did she say anything to Dowan. And seeing this kind of atmosphere, Dowan was of course completely blown away. He just feels that this girl didn't like the food here. Anyway, Dowan wanted to start talking to her here. So he asks this girl for her name. And she says, my name is Shaun. And after hearing this, of course, Dowan tries to butter her up. Wow, what a pretty name and etc. Anyway, Dowan's attempt doesn't work very well either. Because after asking for the name, silence again. He just says in his mind, I am missing my mother. Anyway, but that's when the girl says, is there anything else you want to do with me? And bro, I swear, if I were in Dowan's place, you can understand what I would have said here. Anyway, if you come back to the story, Dowan says, I don't know much about you right now, so I can't guess anything like this and tell you what we should do now. So while replying to this, Shaun says, don't worry. From now on, we are going to see each other a lot. And saying this, she leaves from here. And Dowan says, there is a lot of time left for the day to end, so you come with me. And that's when another system window pops up. Boy Become a Man Part 3. Watch a movie with her. And then what happens after that? One by one, a lot of quest windows start coming. Boy Become a Man 4. Spend some time alone with her at the cafe. And as we can see here, Dowan is also in the cafe. I mean, what should I tell you about this guy? And then comes the next quest, Boy Become a Man 5. Sing a romantic song with her. And while completing all these quests, Dowan is just thinking in his mind, it doesn't matter how many times I think about it. This is a deity. I don't know why the system is giving me such quests. Because I thought the system would only make me fight bullies. But there is something else going on here. And that's when we are shown the next quest, Boy Become a Man 6. Where this time Dowan has to show his drum skills to this girl. And here our man doesn't choke. Because he shows such skills here. Not the girl, but the boys standing behind him become his fans. And Dowan comes here in full swing and says, see what kind of performance I have given. Really, no international star can give such a performance. And as soon as Dowan turns around and looks, he sees that Shaun has not paid attention to him for a few hours. She is actually looking at some toys. And seeing this, Dowan leaves from there to find those toys. He makes an excuse and goes that I am going to the bathroom. And after that we see the scene 10 minutes later, where Dowan is bringing a lot of fish-like toys for Shaun. And he is hoping that at least he will be happy to see this. And when he finally finds Shaun, he shouts and says Shaun. But unfortunately, Shaun did not call him here. Someone else heard. A man comes from behind and holds Dowan's hair and bows it down. And says, who are you and how do you know Shaun? Why were you shouting his name so loudly? All Dowan's fish fall to the ground. And Dowan is shouting here in pain. And Dowan feels like he has seen this man somewhere before. But before this, something else could have happened. That's why the man hears a voice with his name that leave him. And this is said by Shaun himself. And after hearing this man leaves Dowan. Dowan falls on the poor ground, because of course he could not balance himself. And this man says here, oh, you both know each other. I did not know. Sorry. Anyway, leave it. Now tell me who are you? But before this, Dowan could say something. Shaun herself says, he is my boyfriend. And as soon as he hears this boy and Dowan both get caught. Just see their reactions. And not only that, Shaun says, if you are done, then please stop interfering in our date. She holds Dowan's hand and takes Dowan with her. And says, ignore this man. He is my neighbor since childhood. Anyway, Dowan and this girl leave from there. But this man's reaction is worth seeing. Anyway, now we see that it is evening here. And Dowan is still walking on the footpath. Still in confusion. Just thinking boyfriend. And then he sees in front that Shaun has gone too far. And when he tries to ask her, where are we going? Then Shaun says, follow me quietly. Because you had promised me that you will be with me all day. And then again in front of Dowan, another system window pops up, on which it is written, Boy Become a Man 7. This is the final destination of her wish. Go inside. And after this we see, these two people have come in the lift. And they are going to the 8th floor. And Dowan is just thinking in his mind, that where are we going? He tries to talk to Shaun, that you don't think we are students. We should focus on our studies. Don't you think all this is happening too fast? And the biggest thing, I don't know about you, but I am not ready for this yet. And then the elevator gate opens. And Dowan sees something like this in front of him. There is a big poster in front of him, on which it is written, 202X Gwanek District, Iljingang General Assembly Meeting. And there are a lot of chairs in front of him, on which a lot of people are sitting. And then a person, who is hosting this assembly, he says with his hammer, everyone calm down. Now we are going to start the Gwanek District, Iljingang General Assembly Meeting. As I have already told you here, that our agenda for today is quite clear. A dangerous person, who killed 2 people of our old council, in one day, in one school, and in one karaoke. And we have to punish that person. And that person is no one else. And that person is our one and only, Goat Dowan Ha. And looking at Dowan's poster, one person says, oh really, This guy killed 2 people, that 2 of our old council. And the other person replying to this, says, really man, I think he is an example. And our Dowan, who is standing from behind, seeing all these visuals, he is totally scared. He asks the lion, what is going on here? And then the person, who is hosting this meeting, he says again, whoever wants to take action on Dowan, raise your hand. And as soon as you see, all the people present here, all of them have raised their hands. And seeing this, Dowan starts shivering. He is shivering. And then, another system window pops up, on which it is written, boy become a man. Final quest. A true man knows how to enjoy the thrill of rising his life in a desperately dangerous situation. Escape safe and sound. And then the person who is hosting the meeting, he says again, so let's finalize. Dowan has become the target of 497 members, which means 497 people are going to kill Dowan. Hello guys, today I will explaining 3 chapters of Reality Quest in this video. In the previous video I'll promise that I will cover around 3 to 4 chapter in each video, so here is the video. Now without wasting any more time let's begin. But before this, do not forget to subscribe and like for more new chapter of Reality Quest. Dowan could do anything else. That girl says, you must have more clothes, right? By the way, you should turn off the heater in your house. It's getting too hot here. And with this, Dowan finds out that he misunderstood the system window quest. Dowan asks that girl, how did you find out that I live here? Because we never talked. That girl says, yes, I didn't even know your phone number. But that day when I was taking you in the karaoke, I saw the address of your house, which was stuck behind your phone cover. Anyway, forget all that. First tell me, do you really have only these clothes? It looks like this is a collection of some loser. Dowan replies, by the way, my mom bought those clothes for me, so at least don't say that. Anyway, this girl's intention was something else. She says to Dowan, let's go shopping. Anyway, you can't hang out with me in these clothes. And poor Dowan is just thinking in his mind, where am I stuck? Because he was going shopping with a girl for the first time in his life, except her mother. And in the very next scene, we see these 2, who are in a shopping mall. And here Dowan is trying on some clothes. And here he looks absolutely like a loser. And he himself is saying the same thing. How do people wear such strange clothes? Anyway, according to this girl, these clothes don't look good on Dowan at all. So let's try this new outfit. And while wearing these clothes, Dowan is just thinking that I have never tried such clothes before, so I feel very strange. Anyway, when Dowan asks this girl about this outfit, then she says, they don't look that bad. And Dowan is happy to hear this. But then again a system window pops up in front of him. Ask her out to lunch. So what? Of course, Dowan will have to complete the quest. So these 2 go to a restaurant for lunch, where Dowan is eating his food. But this girl was not eating anything there. And the most amazing thing was that they were staring at each other for half an hour. That means neither Dowan said anything to her, nor did she say anything to Dowan. And seeing this kind of atmosphere, Dowan was of course completely blown away. He just feels that this girl didn't like the food here. Anyway, Dowan wanted to start talking to her here. So he asks this girl for her name. And she says, my name is Shaun. And after hearing this, of course, Dowan tries to butter her up. Wow, what a pretty name and etc. Anyway, Dowan's attempt doesn't work very well either. Because after asking for the name, silence again. He just says in his mind, I am missing my mother. Anyway, but that's when the girl says, is there anything else you want to do with me? And bro, I swear, if I were in Dowan's place, you can understand what I would have said here. Anyway, if you come back to the story, Dowan says, I don't know much about you right now, so I can't guess anything like this and tell you what we should do now. So while replying to this, Shaun says, don't worry, from now on, we are going to see each other a lot. And saying this, she leaves from here. And Dowan says, there is a lot of time left for the day to end, so you come with me. And that's when another system window pops up. Boy Become a Man Part 3. Watch a movie with her. And then what happens after that? One by one, a lot of quest windows start coming. Boy Become a Man 4. Spend some time alone with her at the cafe. And as we can see here, Dowan is also in the cafe. I mean, what should I tell you about this guy? And then comes the next quest, Boy Become a Man 5. Sing a romantic song with her. And while completing all these quests, Dowan is just thinking in his mind, it doesn't matter how many times I think about it. This is a deity. I don't know why the system is giving me such quests. Because I thought the system would only make me fight bullies. But there is something else going on here. And that's when we are shown the next quest, Boy Become a Man 6. Where this time Dowan has to show his drum skills to this girl. And here our man doesn't choke. Because he shows such skills here. Not the girl, but the boys standing behind him become his fans. And Dowan comes here here in full swing and says, "See what kind of performance I have given." Really, no international star can give such a performance. And as soon as Dowan turns around and looks, he sees that Shaun has not paid attention to him for a few hours. She is actually looking at some toys. And seeing this, Dowan leaves from there to find those toys. He makes an excuse and goes that I am going to the bathroom. And after that we see the scene 10 minutes later, where Dowan is bringing a lot of fish-like toys for Shaun. And he is hoping that at least he will be happy to see this. And when he finally finds Shaun, he shouts and says Shaun. But unfortunately, Shaun did not call him here. Someone else heard. A man comes from behind and holds Dowan's hair and bows it down, and says, "Who are you and how do you know Shaun? Why were you shouting his name so loudly?" All Dowan's fish fall to the ground. And Dowan is shouting here in pain. And Dowan feels like he has seen this man somewhere before. But before this, something else could have happened. That's why the man hears a voice with his name that leave him. And this is said by Shaun himself. And after hearing this man leaves Dowan. Dowan falls on the poor ground, because of course he could not balance himself. And this man says here, "Oh, you both know each other. I did not know. Sorry. Anyway, leave it. Now tell me, who are you?" But before this, Dowan could say something. Shaun herself says, "He is my boyfriend." And as soon as he hears this boy and Dowan both get caught. Just see their reactions. And not only that, Shaun says, "If you are done, then please stop interfering in our date." She holds Dowan's hand and takes Dowan with her, and says, "Ignore this man. He is my neighbor since childhood." Anyway, Dowan and this girl leave from there. But this man's reaction is worth seeing. Anyway, now we see that it is evening here. And Dowan is still walking on the footpath. Still in confusion. Just thinking boyfriend. And then he sees in front that Shaun has gone too far. And when he tries to ask her, "Where are we going?" then Shaun says, "Follow me quietly. Because you had promised me that you will be with me all day." And then again in front of Dowan, another system window pops up, on which it is written, "Boy become a man 7. This is the final destination of her wish. Go inside." And after this we see, these two people have come in the lift. And they are going to the 8th floor. And Dowan is just thinking in his mind, that where are we going? He tries to talk to Shaun, that you don't think we are students. We should focus on our studies. Don't you think all this is happening too fast? And the biggest thing, I don't know about you, but I am not ready for this yet. And then the elevator gate opens. And Dowan sees something like this in front of him. There is a big poster in front of him, on which it is written, 202X Gwanak District, Iljingang General Assembly Meeting. And there are a lot of chairs in front of him, on which a lot of people are sitting. And then a person, who is hosting this assembly, he says with his hammer, "Everyone calm down. Now we are going to start the Gwanak District Iljingang General Assembly Meeting. As I have already told you here, that our agenda for today is quite clear. A dangerous person, who killed 2 people of our old council, in one day, in one school, and in one karaoke. And we have to punish that person. And that person is no one else. And that person is our one and only Goat Dowan Ha." And looking at Dowan's poster, one person says, "Oh really, this guy killed 2 people, that 2 of our old council." And the other person replying to this, says, "Really man, I think he is an example." And our Dowan, who is standing from behind, seeing all these visuals, he is totally scared. He asks the lion, "What is going on here?" And then the person, who is hosting this meeting, he says again, "Whoever wants to take action on Dowan, raise your hand." And as soon as you see, all the people present here, all of them have raised their hands. And seeing this, Dowan starts shivering. He is shivering. And then, another system window pops up, on which it is written, "Boy become a man. Final quest. A true man knows how to enjoy the thrill of rising his life in a desperately dangerous situation. Escape safe and sound." And then the person, who is hosting the meeting, he says again, "So let's finalize. Dowan Ha has become the target of 497 members, which means 497 people are going to kill Dowan." Hello guys, today I will explaining chapter 7 of Reality Quest. And I'll make a mega video for ever 6 videos so you cannot find any other part. So now without wasting your time, let's begin. Do not forget to subscribe and like for more new chapter of Reality Quest. Actually, those teenagers who form a gang in school and commit crimes through it, such as violence, money theft, robbery, etc. And such teenagers also like to show off their life a lot. Along with that, they also enjoy their freedom a lot. And they are able to maintain such a lifestyle just because they are part of the gang. And there are many ways to manage gangs. But the gangsters of Gwanak District, they found the most mature way to manage their gangs. And that is one and only illegitimate agent council, I mean bully council. And after this, we come to the main story, where we see Dowan, who has gone crazy after seeing all this. He says to Shaun, I knew it, I was feeling very strange about you. But was this really your plan from the beginning? How did you bring me here and trap me? But the guy who is hosting this assembly, he is about to throw his hammer and says, so finally I am going to pass this bill. Dowan is the target of 497 members. But before that, this guy could have thrown his hammer and given confirmation. Shaun says here, wait, why don't you pay attention to another item instead of passing this bill? And after hearing this from Shaun, all the people sitting here start looking back. And then the guy who is hosting the assembly says, what do you mean by another item? Are you talking about the empty executive seat of the Bully Council? And what do you think? Have you found someone who is worthy of being the representative of Borum? And Shaun replying to this says, yes, I have really found someone who is worthy of being the representative of Borum. On the other side, our Dowan, as we can see behind, he is thinking in his mind that if I get out of here quietly, no one will know until these people are talking. But Shaun holds his jacket and brings it forward and says, the one who is going to be the new representative of Borum is our one and only Dowan. And at this moment, Dowan's total is 12 o'clock, because the target of those people is currently standing in front of him. And while looking at Dowan, all these people start talking here. Hey, isn't this the same donkey that was on the screen a few seconds ago? Ha, what do you mean? Has he become a representative now? But then this host says that making a representative of such a person who has caused harm to the people of our Bully Council can be very problematic. But this is also a fact that no one can deny that Dowan is more than qualified here. And this is the same thing that Shaun also repeats, that Dowan had washed 3 people of the Bully Council in one day. So you don't think that Dowan is more than enough for this position? And that's when we see a guy who is saying, what the hell is he talking about? Will you really let this happen, Yoon Se-young? And then this guy named Yoon Se-young says that what is wrong in this, he is not saying anything wrong. And we find out that he is a representative of Salim. On the other side, if we come back to our main character Dowan, hey Se-young, I don't have any such plan that I become a member of a gang. But Se-young says, son, you have no choice here. I am not asking you, but I am telling you, because you think a little logically and see what kind of situation you are stuck in. In fact, you have already made the entire Bully Council your enemy. And now this Bully Council is going to pass a bill to punish you, in which a total of 497 people will now run after you. And it means clearly that you cannot escape these people. But if you join this Bully Council, then no one can harm you. Anyway, now you don't have any other option, except that you join the Bully Council offer. And Dowan also has an idea that what kind of situation he is stuck in. So he says, yes, maybe you are right. It would be right for me to become a representative. Anyway, thank you for thinking so much about me. But Se-young replies to this and says, I am not doing this because I am worried about you. Actually, I am standing against another person. And in the very next scene, that other person also comes here. The lift opens behind Dowan and Dowan notices that someone has come inside behind him. And when he sees that guy, he says, this is the same guy we met in the shopping mall. And this guy comes here and says, Se-young, why didn't you tell me that the meeting of the Bully Council is going to take place today? I was thinking that something is wrong when you said that this guy is your boyfriend. Don't you think you just want me not to be representative? You haven't gone too far for this. Anyway, this was what you were trying to hide, huh? And what do you think? What are you going to do with this guy? This guy grabs Dowan's neck and picks him up in the air. And then we are told that this guy's name is Se-young Kang. And this also happens in the race to become a representative of Borum region. And while saying all this guy picks up Dowan in the air by grabbing his neck. And Dowan is not able to do anything here, just because this guy's grip was very strong. But then the host of this assembly says, please don't do violence here. So Ms. Se-young, you are saying that Dowan Hark is Borum's new representative, right? But Se-young Kang says to Dowan on the ground, of course not, that's me. And the boys sitting here are also saying, hey, that guy named Dowan doesn't seem too weak. And then the host of this assembly says, okay, now we don't have any other option. Now that 2 candidates have come here, who are claiming for the same position. So now we will have to decide who is going to be Borum's new representative here. So let's move this process forward. And Dowan is standing while falling. And he is about to say something. But then he notices that all the people sitting here, they all start taking their chairs to the side. Not even the chairs, they themselves go to the side and stand up and vacate the whole place. And then we are told that when 2 candidates come for one place, then there is only one way to solve that matter. To get a fight between the two. And whoever wins the fight becomes the new representative. And Dohan is thinking in his mind, damn it, a few seconds ago, this guy was saying don't fight here, don't do violence. And now he himself is telling me to fight. But then a voice comes from behind Dohan that if Dohan loses this fight, then Dohan will be punished under the old bill. And at this point, Dohan has understood that now he can't back out of the fight. And then the scene shifts back to Shaun's gang, who tells Shaun that it's not my fault. Now whatever happens here, it will be because of you. And it would be nice if you don't raise your leg anymore. It's my fault, right? But Shaun is not looking at him. Actually, not only him, but all the people here. All of them are focused on Dohan, who is coming from behind Shaun's gang to land a falcon drop on him. And in the very next scene, Dohan hits the falcon drop directly on Shaun's gang's head. And we see that nothing happened to him. That guy is just standing there. He has easily blocked the falcon drop with only one hand. Dohan is just thinking that how did this happen? Was the attack too weak? Or is this guy too strong? His endurance seems to be next level, because this attack was not even blocked by the fat Manchurian when he was knocked out at once. And before Dohan could finish all this, another system window pops up in front of him. It says you are out of mana. And before Dohan could think of any strategy, Shaun's gang comes from behind and traps him in a lock. And he starts choking Dohan. And as soon as he sees it, Dohan's light starts to fade. And then Dohan starts thinking that I was right. I was thinking that I have seen this guy somewhere before. He is the same guy. Just because he lost a lot of weight, I couldn't recognize him. And then we are shown a flashback of Dohan in which we are shown a middle school scene where the weather is hot and a guy is holding Dohan tight. And he is also saying the same thing, that I won't leave you until you unlock the golden turtle in this game. And this guy is none other than Shaun's gang, who is currently after Dohan. And from this we get to know that Dohan and Shaun's relationship is very old, since middle school. And not only this, he used to choke Dohan all the time, whether he was eating food or Dohan was using the toilet. And one day, he made Dohan unconscious and threw him in front of all the girls in the school. And just because of this guy, Dohan had become a more than loser. Dohan, recalling all his traumatic memories, says that people like him should die of heart attack because of eating too much hamburger. But how did he lose so much weight? Anyway, as soon as we come back to the present story, we see that he has done Dohan's work 25 times. Dohan is trying to stand up while falling. But then those guys who were watching the match on the side say that is this Dowan or Dohan? What is his name? He has no chance to defeat Shaun. And this is the same thing Dohan is also thinking in his mind, that what are my chances of winning this fight? On the other side, we see Shaun, who is saying that finally, now I am the new representative of Burmese. If anyone has a problem, he can come in front of me. Then Dohan, who is standing while falling, says that this is not over yet. Shaun says to Dohan that you still have life in you. But then Dohan says thanks for thinking so much about me. But I think now you should take care of yourself, because after this, I am going to beat you like a dog. And saying this, Dohan starts taking off his clothes. I mean his jacket, which he has worn on top.
Hello guys, today I will explaining chapter 8 of Reality Quest. And also this is a mega video, so without wasting any more time, let's begin. We see those boys who are watching this fight. They say with surprise, unbelievable, I have never seen this before. I have never seen a person continuously throwing so many punches at someone, that too in the same row. I have never seen before, throwing so many weak punches at someone. Is there really a joke going on here? And we see Dohan, who is constantly punching like a cat on the scene. And why is he doing this? We will find out in a flashback. And after that we see the scene from 7 hours ago, where we see that Dohan is looking at the same silver key that he got in exchange for defeating Mention. And Dohan finds out that this silver key unlocks a passive skill. And then what? His boy uses this key and unlocks a passive skill, where he gets a passive skill that is for a critical strike. And the name of this skill is critical hit, and it does not require mana points to use it. And whenever this skill is used, it not only fails the enemy's defense, but also makes the attacker totally useless. But it also had a big limitation, that the chance of using it is only 1%. And the same thing Dohan is also thinking, that if I hit someone 100 times, then no doubt he will get one punch, which will be a critical hit. Although Dohan is no doubt very impressed with this skill, but he gets crazy after reading this thing, that the chances of this skill being successful are only 1%. And while abusing the system, he says that first he gave me such a skill, which I could not use due to mana deficiency, and now he is giving me such a useless skill, which has a 1% chance of being used. Anyway, if it comes to the present moment, then Dohan is trying to use this useless skill, because now he had no other option. And that is why he is constantly punching like cats on Shaun's gang. Anyway, seeing Doha we see ends efforts. All the boys around him are having a lot of fun, but Shaun hides his face due to shame, that what the hell did he pick up here? And seeing this, Shaun Khan also says, brother, What are you trying to do here? Are you playing some kind of game with me? On the other side, we see Dowan, who is full of dedication, 96, 97, 98, 99, and this 100. And finally when Dowan lands his 100th hit on Shang Kong, he sees that it did not make a difference, and seeing this, Dohan's knees have come in his mouth. After this, we see a scene from the past, where we get to know through the narrator that chances are a very important factor in anything, because probability is the thing that gives everyone a chance to win equally. And then we see our little Dowan, who is in middle school, and here he has blown the fees of his English tuition teacher, but this madness is not going to stop here. He says that I am going to put my math teacher tuition fee here, because I have already lost so many times, now there is no sense, now I am sure to win, and this guy finally tries, and he does not get anything, he fails again. And the scene shifts again to the present, where we see that Dowan's sweat starts dripping, and before Dowan could understand anything, Kong comes and grabs his neck and picks him up in the air, and after that, he slams Dowan on some object so dirty that the thing on which Dowan is trapped, it is completely broken, and we can see here, clearly Dohan's mother and sister have become one, and after that Sung Kong says that I was very much shocked when you came to me with so much confidence, but maybe I had forgotten that you are a loser who can't do anything to me. Now you should know this asshole, I used to be 130 kilograms, just like a fat elephant, but do you know how much I have struggled to make this muscular body, and there is no chance of this thing that you bring a scratch on my steel body. And after hearing so much, Dowan also gets bored. You are the same asshole who used to do this and that in middle school. Kong says to Dowan, wow, you already know me, brother, but I didn't recognize you, and Dowan says the same thing that bullies forget easily. They do wrong with the ones, but the victims are in lifetime trauma, and after hearing this, Kong also tries to remember Dowan, but he doesn't remember anything for an hour. He moves towards Dowan and says, sorry brother, but I don't remember you. Dowan says, don't you dare come near me, but Kong doesn't stop. He holds Dohan's leg and throws it in some other direction, and while throwing, he says, hey kid, tell me one thing. Do you remember every toy you played with in childhood? And now Dowan is so beaten up that Shaun also says, Dowan, maybe you should stop now, but then that monkey named Yun Shirong comes in front of Shaun and says, this fight is already over, just look at that boy Dowan, he is shivering completely, and we see Dowan, who has completely lost his mind, he does not understand anything, that how is he going to deal with the beast standing in front of him. Then we see Kong, who says, wow, man, I am fighting after so long, my shoulders are stiff, and Yun Shirong, repeating his words, says, this fight is already over, but Dowan drops his hand on the ground and tries to stand up and says, no, this fight is not over yet, and seeing this, Kong also says, wow, you haven't given up yet. Dowan stands up and looks at Kong. This is what they thought, because he is looking at the exit door. He says to distract Kong, you don't remember, we were very close in middle school, but on the other side, Kong says, okay, but a while ago you were calling me a fat-skinned pig. Seeing this, Dowan says, no, man, I was kidding, friends keep throwing such jokes at each other, right? And while saying this, Dowan is thinking in his mind, just once I get out of here, after that, I will tell my mom that I will go to a faraway island, and then Dowan starts running from here, but unfortunately, his foot gets stuck in his jacket. He is thinking in his mind, man, what is my fate? I wish I had not removed this jacket, and when he starts falling ahead, his hand accidentally goes to Kang's chest, and this is so impactful that literally Kong flies from his place, going back, falling, going straight to the lift's door, and the impact of that thing is so dangerous that the lift's door tilts backwards, and everyone was shocked to see this. All the people who were standing here, it was 12 o'clock for everyone. What happened here? And then a man speaks here. I know what he did now. He put all the energy of his body in his palm so that he could knock out his opponent at once. This is a secret move of martial arts that destroys the opponent's bones and organs at the same time. I know this is an ultimate attack called Dragon Push. On the other side, Dowan knows that this was not a Dragon Push or anything, but this was our critical hit, who did it late, but finally extinguished Kang's light in one attack. Dowan thinks that he has finished Kang's work, but still he sees in front of him that Kong has stood up again. He tells Dowan that you were so powerful, but you were hiding your power. After all, you were playing this kind of game with me, and seeing this, Dowan knows that he has gone completely crazy, and because of this, Dowan starts shivering out of fear, and the people around him say that he is shivering out of fear. But 1 second, why is he laughing? And after this we see the scene of the past, where we find out that victory is such a thing, whose taste if someone gets it once, then he can't stop himself himself to try it again and again, and we see the same thing here with Dowan, where after failing so many times, he has finally won once, and this thing has increased his confidence so much that literally Dowan has now reached the 7th sky, and the same thing is happening at the present moment, where Dowan moves forward to attack Kong while going in full waves, and on the other side, Kong was also fully ready.
Thank you guys for watch this video and please subscribe and like.